Hi guys, welcome back. So these new statistics are going to shock you. Daily FX, if you don't know Daily FX, it's a really big popular FX mail, and they do a lot of price quotes for Forex. And the stats that they found are shocking. So we're going to dispel some of the lies told about Forex trading, which aren't true. Predominantly the main one, which is that 90% of Forex traders lose money. And this is a really, really big lie. Everyone who's been saying it, it's a lie. The stats show for themselves. They have researched over 120,000 traders from 32 different countries and 31 different brokers. And they found that 90% of Forex traders don't fail. And how do we know those numbers are true? So if you don't know this, I also started seeing this with the FSCA, that a lot of the brokers in South Africa, which are regulated by the FSCA, now state that 70 something percent of their traders lose money. So I was always interested who gets this figure and where is it coming from. So what we know is now that the FSCA and the EU, European Union, now has a requirement, and I think in the States it's also true, that they now have a requirement that all Forex brokers must disclose what percentage of their traders lose money, because obviously people need to know things like that, and a lot of people are getting enticed into getting into risky investments, and so they should know their odds. So the European Union's regulation basically came into effect. I think it's been in effect for a while now, and it requires every single broker to disclose what percentage of their traders lose money. And if you've seen one of my past videos on picking a broker, you'd see me going through the list of regulated brokers and what percentage of their brokers lose money. That's because of the regulations in South Africa. So what's the real number? We're going to get into the real number just now. And before we get into that, another lie which is told, which is that Forex trading is a scam. It's not. Also from these stats, what they actually saw was that retail Forex trading only accounts for a mere 5% of the whole market. So you can imagine the 95% of the Forex market is not even the retail traders. In as much as you think that all those Forex brokers and the number of people trading Forex are retail, they're not retail. 95% of the money in the Forex market is not retail money. It's institutional money, it's banks, it's hedge funds, it's pension funds even. So realistically, you can't say that it's an industry, or the industry is a scam. It's not a scam. The 5% who are in it, sometimes they do scam people. That is true, but the whole industry isn't a scam. So moving on to the really good stuff. There's some stuff you don't need to know about, like sort of who's trading what. Sorry. I want to get into the actual statistics. Right. So here's what's important when they did get to the statistics. So they realized that from those, when they say 90% of traders fail, from those 90%, hear this, 72% of the Forex traders said they had no experience trading in any industry whatsoever. So imagine when they're saying 90%, 90% of Forex traders are failing. It's because they've interviewed people with 72% of those people had never traded in any market whatsoever. So it's like taking someone who hasn't ever practiced medicine and saying, go do a surgery, and then trying to get the success rate out of those people. Imagine getting random people off the street and saying perform surgeries, and then when they fail, then you say there's a huge failure rate in that industry. And it's because 72% of those people actually haven't traded in any experience. And it gets even worse when you start looking at how long the people have been trading. Because from those 92% who failed, we divided the total number of traders according to their trading experience, and we can see a clear majority, 92% of them were beginners. So when they say 90% of Forex traders fail, 92% of them were beginners, right, with less than 3 years experience, right? And then things get interesting when you start looking at the percentage of people that succeeded. Sorry. Okay, so a lot of the details don't matter here. Of the 1%, here this 1% that were very successful, they've been trading for over 10 years. So what you find is that you have 72% of those 90 people who've never had any trading experience whatsoever, and 92% of them are beginners anyways. How are you looking for success amongst beginners? So it's important to know that. And then you realize that actually once you get past the 5-year mark, the 6-year mark, the success rate actually goes up to way over 70%. Imagine that. So that means if you stick with Forex for the next 6 years, right, your chances of being successful shoot up to over 65%. Imagine that. No one says that. So 7% have been trading for 4 to 10 years. Only 1% have been trading for over 10 years. And then 70% of them responded. The ones who responded, 70% of them were on live accounts. The others were on demos. What's also interesting is they found that traders who overtrade or trade more tend to be amongst the losing traders. So 43% of the traders make 20 trades per month, and then the lowest number of trades actually had higher success rates. So it's important to also know when you're overtrading. I've talked a bit about overtrading and stuff like that. So the research ends with, is it true that 90% of Forex traders lose? And the reality is when they ask the brokers, because now they're required to show their statistics on how many people are actually losing, they found that it's actually around 76%. So imagine with those beginners, it's not 90%, it's 76%. On average, it's 76%. And then in the next video, we're going to talk about which brokers have the highest failure rate. And I've talked a bit about how market makers actually have lower failure rates than ECN brokers. A lot of people don't know that. ECN brokers actually have higher failure rates amongst their traders than market makers. So whenever the people on Forex are like, avoid market makers at all costs, don't trade with market makers, actually ECN brokers actually have higher failure rates. So thanks, guys.